Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So today, Group 4 going to present about price analysis of meat production in the ruminant industry. Let's meet our group members. So, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to share about introduction, content, recommendation, and lastly, conclusion.
For the introduction, ruminant livestock species such as cattle, buffaloes, sheep, and goats are generally much more dependent on the environment in which they live for fodder and feed resources than pigs and chickens. The production context is, therefore, much more dependent on prevailing environmental conditions than on pigs and chickens. The context also depends on capital investment, specialization, and whether they are raised on grassland, feedlot, or contribute to mixed crop livestock farming systems. Ruminants have a valuable role in sustainable agriculture systems and the provision of food to human beings. They play a pivotal role in converting vast renewable resources from rangeland, pastures, crop residues, and other byproducts into food edible for humans. Grazing ruminant animals is an efficient way to produce food for humans. The need to maintain ruminants to utilize these humanly eatable foodstuffs and alter them into high-quality foods for human consumption has been a characteristic for several thousand years. In fact, dairy cattle and goats are exceptional in efficiently converting plant-based protein energy source into high-quality animal fats and proteins. It is convincing that ruminants are essential components in food production systems now and in the future. Although Malaysia has its agricultural production, it still depends on imports to meet domestic food needs. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, the country is highly dependent on imports of mutton, beef, mangoes, and coconuts from foreign countries. Almost 70% of the mutton circulation in the local market is imported from Australia, while the beef is imported from India. For the supply of mangoes and coconuts, Malaysia still depends on import from Thailand and Indonesia, he added. He added that the highest import record so far was beef, which amount to 2.2 billion ringgit, followed by mutton, 879.4 million ringgit, and coconut, 266.1 million ringgit.
The issue of the ruminant industry is facing is the increasing price of the beef that has been affected by the increasing price of animal feed, the disease outbreaks on the farm, and demand during the festive seasons. The increase in animal feed affects the price of beef, where the raw materials are imported from other countries such as palm kernel cake, PKC, soy, and corn. The supply of raw materials still depends on the import, thus it affects the increase of beef prices. In 2021, there is a disease outbreak on the farm, which is lumpy skin disease that affects many farms in Malaysia. The short supply of the beef and high demand of the customer has increased the price rate of beef. Also, in Malaysia, Muslims are celebrating Aidilfitri and Aidiladha every year. Some of families will purchase beef for their feast. The demand of the beef is high, thus the short supply due to some problems causing the price in high rate.
The use of antibiotic and AI is a method that used in animal husbandry, but there are negative effects of doing this activity. One of the important instruments in AI is the selector educator. However, the use of this equipment is less effective and harmful to animals. This is due to the fact that semen obtained through this method will often be contaminated with animal urine and result in injury of the animal. Contamination of cow sperm water can result the sperm death and decrease the sperm quality. Next, cattle growth is positively affected by the insertion of antibiotic in animal feed. Despite the fact that using antibiotic to raise cattle and increase production, many consumers disagree with this farming practice. This is due to some adverse consequences that user may face, such as antibiotic resistance and carcinogenic effects that can cause cancer. Consumers who consume this meat also find it difficult to recover from disease, result in increased treatment costs.
Recommendation. We will go over all the major costs associated with beef farming. What if I told you that the good grazing practice can help you increase dry matter yield, grass quality, and cattle with well, lowering overall cost and labor? The rational grazing is a method of the grazing based on a herbage level. The cow learn that they do not have time to run around the pasture looking for the best grass in daily pasture rotation. As a result, the pasture, including the weight, is grazed uniformly, and the suitable leave behind is consistent, almost as if a lawman ran over it. Because you are not bound by a predated pasture area, you may utilize a smart electric feed crate to establish a daily pasture rotation that either speed up or lower down depending on the grass growth. Next, as you are aware, it's critical to select the cattle breed that are well suited to the climate condition on your farm. Here are the numerous factors to consider before selecting the right cattle for your farm, ranking for the cool and the heat tolerance to ice pigmentation for bright climates and the firm feet for the rocky terrain. The right cattle will improve performance, prevent the disease and the health complication, and reduce your overall cost. Crossbreeding is the most efficient method of the commercial production, but highly productive purebred are the foundation of the commercial crossbreeding success. The relative economic importance of this characteristic varies, especially when they consider different stages of the production system. For example, a calf produce the primary concern is reproduction, whereas feeder the primary concerns are feed efficiency and the carcass desirability. Other factors to consider include the muscular expression and the rate of the maturation. A final consideration, particularly in the soul, is the biological species represented in the prey.
One of the finest return on the investment in any operation is forage sample and nutrition analysis. Weather, ripeness, harvest, and storage practice all have a significant influence on fodder quality, which probably goes without saying. However, without a forage study, every supplementing method performance is essentially speculative and rarely reflected to the herd genuine demands. Overfeeding is a clear financial waste, but underfeeding is a waste of output and genetic potential. Separating cow based on their nutrition requirements allow for the targeted feeding strategy, minimize dominant and subordinate relationship at the bulk, and lower the herd overall feed costs. Female in their growth require more total dietary energy and protein, but they cannot consume as much dry matter as mature cow.
To summarize, our country demand for the meat is very high, but domestic meat production cannot keep up. So we must import meat from the overseas suppliers. The cost of the feed is increasing, so the price of the local beef is rising. If the right step and method are taken to improve the efficiency of the livestock industry, the agro-food industry can become more productive, competitive, and knowledge incentive. As a result, it can increase the livestock production and income for livestock farmers while decreasing the rate of the meat import from other countries. If the country produces a large amount of meat stock, the price of meat can be reduced and people will prefer to buy local meat over imported meat. This can be accomplished by increasing livestock feed material production and forage production. The selection of suitable breed based on religion, climate and disease resistance will be able to increase the production while lowering the disease treatment cost. For example, among the most popular cattle in Malaysia, the Kedah Kelantan and Brahman crossbreed are preferred by feed breeders. Following that, the commercial crossbreeding with the Bos Taurus or Bos Indicus breeds is performed to produce the terminal crossbreed offspring. Quality breed also ensure high quality meat product that competitive with the imported meat. That's all from us. Thank you.